tell you a little bit about my daughter. Although she's very young, I've seen her go with things that, most adults would buckle under.
My name is Zoey Luna. I'm 12 years old. I am transgender, and I understand what it's like to go through bullying. It's traumatic, it's horrible, and nobody likes bullying. Bullying is a bad thing. I'm so glad that AB 1266 passed because now it allows me to use the restrooms that I follow with as a girl, and I have there's no, oh, well, you can't really use that, but because the law passed, and so now I'm allowed to use it, and I'm just really grateful that it passed.
Now I want to introduce my mom. She is one of my biggest role models.
I can never presume to know exactly how she feels or how she thinks of things because I'm not her. Her pressure is different than mine.
I get all my confidence from my mom. I feel like since I have that extra bit of netting, I could just walk the rope. Letty is one of my biggest supporters. I'm glad that I have her as my sister.
As a big sister, our dynamic is more me telling her to put the brakes on and just slow down, stay little. I think she kind of wants to grow up a little too fast right now. But I think a lot of it also has to do with she's had to deal with a lot more than girls her age have had to deal with.
I started to notice Zoe was different than the other little kids or my son or any other child when she was in preschool. She didn't quite behave to the norm of what other boys would behave. She liked wearing my shoes, she liked Barbie dolls.
When we would be done watching kids' movies, she would repeat all the lines from the female characters and reenact the scenes as the female characters. She really, really loved Lava Girl. She would wear towels on her head that kind of matched the color and, you know, pretend it was her hair.
This is my shelf where I keep like a bunch of knickknacks that I had over the years, my fake ponytail.
She was getting reprimanded a lot by the preschool teachers for not going into the right line when they separated the boys from the girls. It was just constant calls, I remember, from the preschool. She would pick fights with kids, kids would pick fights with her.
People are not nice to someone that doesn't fit the norm, the box.
That's, I think, when I started getting concerned.
At the daycare where she was, one of the staff, one of the ladies that would take care of the kids, didn't like the way Zoe behaved. Found it odd that Zoe only wanted to play with dolls, that only wanted to be the mom or the princess or play with the stove or all that. She just was not having that. She didn't like it. So she communicated to the director of the daycare center that maybe Zoe needed to go see somebody because she was not being okay. So I said, at that point, because I knew all the conflicts we were having at home and the worry and stuff, I thought, this is just wonderful. I'm gonna get an opportunity to take her to see someone, and I'm gonna get the family involved, and we're gonna just break this open and find out what's going on.
There was some disagreement over how it should be addressed.
Her brother had a lot of issues. It was really hard for him because he's very straight, very macho. And sister was just kind of worried what was going to happen to her.
I didn't want her to be bullied. And I thought at that time, not knowing what she was going through, I thought maybe if she just stopped acting like that, that people would stop bothering her. Her dad more or less wanted to just say, no, this is not acceptable behavior. You need to talk this way, you need to stand this way, you need to like certain things. I remember for her birthday once, she got an X-Men doll and she was not very happy about it, but he kept saying, well, no, you really should like this action figure. But she wasn't having it.
I used to wear high heels a lot. All my shoes, he picked them all up and he threw them all away because he didn't want Zoe to be using them in the house. He would say, if you take the hoodie away that she pretends is her hair, long hair, it'll change. If you would stop letting her play with the dolls, it would change. I don't think he understood the magnitude of who Zoe is.
Her dad was kind of hoping maybe it was a situation where they grow out of it.
He told me, okay, I'll buy you the Barbies and stuff, but you can't be gay. And I always thought to myself, but I'm not gay. I mean, I like boys, but I'm a girl, so why are you saying that to me?
This is how she believes she is, and that's it. He always felt that it was me that was bringing this on, me that was pushing so that this could happen. But it was far from the truth, because why would I subject her to the criticism and the hate that other people have towards people like Zoe?
I was living a happy life to other people, but inside I was putting a smile on my face every day so I could look like a good kid, like if I had fun, but I was just so sad.
She said she felt like a piece of paper that people would crumble and rip into pieces every day.
When I had to present as a boy, my life was horrible. I wanted to commit suicide so many days in a row that it was so horrible for me. I could not breathe. It was just really depressing and scary. I didn't want to come outside. I didn't want to do anything. You know, I may have seemed like I'm a happy fat child, but like, you know, I was dying inside.
She would, you know, sit in a corner and draw. She was very, very quiet.
Her drawings were very sad, very dark. She was very depressed.
My dad passed away. If he was still alive today, I wouldn't be Zoe right now.
If he had lived to see this now, I think it would have been very difficult for him. I know he loved her very much, but he didn't understand. You don't want to see your child sad, but you don't know what you can do for them. And all I could tell her was, you know, that we love you, we accept you. I don't care what anybody says, but that wasn't sufficient for her. The world needed to know. She needed to be herself out there.
See all that stuff? There's cars. Be careful not to lose it. Oh, no, you're allowed to.
I've never had an issue of accepting Zoe. That was not something that was ever formed in my mind as things happened, as she started expressing herself, as she started talking about it, as she started verbalizing it. There was never a point where I didn't accept her. Having a child, I believe, is already acceptance of whoever you get, right? So that has nothing to do with it. She's my daughter, regardless. All I know is that the most important people in my life should be able to be who they are, be happy, be strong, and strive for better things.
When I was in 5th, 4th, 3rd grade, I would get bullied really bad.
She didn't have any friends, and people were always so mean to her.
It was daily, there was something new. Someone pulled her hair, somebody tripped her, somebody hit her, pushed her, called her names, horrible names. Names that I'm embarrassed to say, and I'm an old woman.
We didn't know how to fight it, other than complaining to the school who did nothing.
One teacher admonished her unfairly in front of the classroom. He made fun of her. He got to the point where he called her disgusting, and that was it. I blew up. I couldn't have that no more. So I called the school, I emailed the school, and I said, I need an appointment, and I'm open on Friday, and I'll see you on Friday. So I kind of asked and told them that I needed the appointment.
Their response was, well, we've known students like Zoe before, and in the past, it's worked when they just went to different schools and started over. And that was not any kind of acceptable answer.
They told me that I needed to move her out of the school. And if I didn't, then if she misbehaved, because to them she was misbehaving, talking about her being trans, they would expel her. So they told me that I needed to make a decision, and I had a week. And I told them, I don't know where that came from, I always say that, but I said, well, next time I come, I'm not coming alone. And the district director asked me, what do you mean? I said, I don't know, but somebody else is coming with me, but I'm not coming alone, and I'm not taking her out of the school. And I walked out. When that district director said, you keep referring to her, my son, him, don't you think you're hurting your child by doing that? And I couldn't understand the question at first. I thought, okay, so I get it. Zoe says she's a girl, but I'm not addressing her as a girl. So I felt horrible. I knew that Zoe was trans. I knew Zoe needed something, but I was afraid. I was afraid because I didn't know how to move forward from there. So when he said, don't you think that you're hurting him by calling him, it hurt me because I thought, damn it, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not talking to her and asking her what she wants. I'm trying to correct everybody else and not help her. From that moment on, I knew that there was something really wrong here, that there's no way that you can kick a kid out of school for defending themselves or because they're expressing who they are. I didn't know if there was a law against that or not, but I knew it wasn't right. I went online and looked for anything and everything that had anything to do with the LGBT community.
Mom just went down the rabbit hole and found the ACLU who was willing to help us, and which was amazing.
I had been looking for help in dealing with Zoe's school and all the harassment, and James was instrumental in helping me learn what I can do for Zoe, what our rights were, and he just advocated for us from the get-go.
After Zoe disclosed her transgender status at school, the school contacted Ophelia, told her they wanted to have a meeting with her about what Zoe had said, and so Ophelia asked me to help her prepare for and attend that meeting with her. There have been laws on the books in California since 2000 that make clear that schools have an obligation to protect students based on their sexual orientation and gender identity, and that they may not discriminate against such students. But we hear time and again, many schools are still allowing their LGBT students to be harassed, and in many instances, like Zoe's, the schools are involved in the harassment themselves. We basically had to educate the educators a bit about what it meant for them to have a transgender student in their district. Students should not have to transfer schools after disclosing their LGBTQ status, and they had an obligation to affirm her transgender identity.
I came home with a different thought in my head. I came home wanting to know what my child needed, not what the school needed. So the first question I had was, for Zoe, what do you need? What do you need from me? Do I need to address you a certain way? Call you by another name? What do you need? I need to know from you.
So my mom comes home that day and she's like, what can I do to help you be yourself? I was like, Mom, all I want to do is go and dress the way I am and be addressed as she and her.
For me, it was a very difficult moment because that meant that everybody and everywhere, and we were going to walk out the door and she was going to be presenting as Zoe. It was just going to come out. And I was afraid, and not for myself, but for her.
It was mostly just conversations between me, our brother Javi, and my mom, and trying to decide, unfortunately the way it sounds now, it's awful, like trying to decide for her when is the right time for her to start dressing this way, or how much is enough, or how much is too much,
So when we were talking and discussing how we were going to get this moving forward, her dressing socially outside, going out and presenting as Zoe, I said, well, maybe we can just go shopping today and you could start slowly before you go all out, right? And Javier said, you know what, Mom, if you're going to do it already, just bleep do it and let her be who she's going to be wherever she's going to go. That was a big turning point for Javier, because at that moment, he just opened up and said, we're going to do this, we're all going to face it, and we're all going to move forward.
Their idea was, we're just going to go and buy a dress, and she's going to go to school the next day. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, how is this going to go?
We went to JCPenney's. That was scary. We walked in and she was wearing basketball shorts, big old giant tennis shoes, and a long t-shirt. And she's picking out girls' clothes. And I'm looking at all the parents stare at me, and I'm like, I was feeling very aggressive at that moment because I was so scared. And I would look at people's reactions and I would stare at them. Maybe they weren't even looking at me, but I had a feeling they were. And I was already in a fighting mode. It's like, if we're gonna have to get down, we're gonna get down. It was just so many things were going through my head, but I know I was really aggressive in that. When we walked in, I wanted to do it quick and I wanted to get out because I was so scared. But just watching her try the clothes on and say, oh my God, these are so soft. She would say, these are so soft. And she said, this is exactly who I'm supposed to be.
I thought, oh my gosh, someone's gonna say something to her. Someone might hurt her, one of the kids, because she was having problems with other students.
I went on with my whole pink outfit. I came off of the bus and my this girl that didn't like me, she said, you actually look good like that. It suits you. And I was like, okay, thank you. And yeah, even a boy told me I looked good like that. So So I was like, oh, thank you. Yeah. So a lot of people just really told me, okay, you look good. You look like you fit now. You know, they said that you're actually looking like who you really are. So I was really happy that day.
The second week I transitioned, everybody's like, what do I call you now? What's your new name? What's this? And I was just like, Mom, I don't know what to call myself.
She wanted Raven.
I wanted Raven because of the Teen
I
Titans.
said, no, I don't think so.
No, and I don't look like a Raven.
Well, I just didn't want Raven. I thought it should be a community decision. And her real name, or not her real name, excuse me, not her real name.
My birth name.
The birth name,
Don't say
as
the name.
I'm not gonna say it, Zoe. The letter Z was involved in that name
Yeah.
as a nickname for that name. So we thought, well, why don't we just, so we can get it straight, try Zoe. And that's how we decided. It's a cute name, I think.
It is.
I think we made a good choice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. At least I wanted to be part of the naming. Like if
Because you're the mother, so
So, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's
you
like,
give birth to me.
kind of, I did
Yeah.
give birth.
For 9 months.
So this rebirth, I wanted to be part of it too. I found out there was hormone treatments, there was blockers, there was help for her to get to a point where she could start presenting as female, start being her true self. That was a big deal.
So you're a little nervous?
Yeah.
I can see it in your face that you are.
Oh no, that's just my makeup.
Oh,
No,
your
she's
nervous
nervous.
makeup?
Zoe and Ophelia came to see me because they really wanted to talk about and think about what the trajectory was going to look like for Zoe as time went on and she started going into her puberty. I think that not unlike a lot of transgender young people, that the idea of going through their endogenous puberty process, which for her would have meant the male acquisition of male secondary sex characteristics like a deep voice and taller stature, facial hair, body hair, those things that happen with puberty were things that were not desirable for her because they didn't match her gender. So they came to me to talk about what could I provide them as a medical physician with this process.
I'm really nervous.
Why are you nervous?
This is a different process, a new thing.
I think even when young people don't understand all of what puberty entails and what a blocker is and the mechanism of it and all of that, what they do know for sure is that Zoe knew for sure she did not want to go through a male puberty. She absolutely knew that without question. And so for her, the idea of blocking that process, it was a completely natural thing for her. I don't think it was odd or out of the blue. I think that it just felt this is the right thing to do. Of course, it's the right thing to do for my development as a young woman.
She said I can get pills.
Okay, see, so that's good.
She
right?
said because I told her I don't want to be missing school, and she said if I would get shots, I would have to come here once a week. What's that?
The medical consent forms.
Oh, I'm getting my hormones.
Do you have a prescription already?
Yes, yes.
I want to see it.
Okay. What it looks like.
I wanted to see what it looked like.
But there's like not a lot of them.
Well, no, because there's only supposed to be.
You have to cut them in fours.
No, this is you cut them in half. See, you take 1/2
Oh,
tablet once a day. So it's estradiol. So it tells you what not to do. It make you sit to your stomach. No drugging, no smoking. So you.
well, you know I'm gonna have a problem with that.
You see the change in that person. They become more self-confident. They come out of that bubble and they're not as sad and as depressed. And you see that smile on your child's face and then you're like, okay. Now she's like so confident. She's like a monster. I can't even stop her. It's true.
She's a little monster.
She's like a little diva.
I'm just myself.
Yeah, so it's
Thank you.
now it's all
I'll
this
be here all
overconfidence.
week. So I'm excited. Can't wait to go to camp. I can't wait for the dance. Can't wait for karaoke night. I think that's what it's called. I forgot. I haven't been there in a year. Yeah, I'm truly excited.
What's so special about camp?
You know that I just get to go and hang out with all my friends, and that we all understand what's going on with one another, and we're all really like close, and we all care for each other, and we all know what's up with each other, you know. And I just like it because I get to be me.
There are no restrictions there. They are who they are, and nobody there is going to question. Nobody there is going to try to make you change your mind or treat you like you're sick or there's something wrong. Nobody's going to tell you you can't wear your makeup the way you want to, a dress, a skirt, whatever it is that you prefer. Nobody has anything to say about it. All they want you to do is to completely forget the world and be who you are, just who you want to be. At the end of the day, after all the questioning and the fears, I knew well enough to search and find out information and try to make sense of it. And then find creative ways of trying to cope with it, deal with it also, so that I can help her. And I think that's where we all, as parents, need to do research and find out, okay, so why is this happening? And a lot of time thinking about it and finding out, and then questioning yourself and how far can you go and what are you gonna do for your child. I'm not a perfect parent because, like I said, I had my own time where I was like, the fear was greater than anything. So it's a process, and every parent should know that. I mean, you're not just gonna say, oh, okay, it's cool. No, there's a lot of things, and each family is different how they deal with it. The first time I went to Transforming Families, I imagined a group of people that were not stable, that were not okay, that the parents, there was a lot of chaotic situations or bad situations, because I was still in that thought that what was happening was not okay and that maybe I did something wrong. So maybe the way we were living, I don't know, something was wrong.
The entire premise of Transforming Families is sort of like safe space where they can talk about their feelings and their experiences with having a trans kid.
The last meeting I was at, there was a lot of issues where some of the kids that were coming out were older than Zoe, and the parents couldn't understand that. They were still thinking it was a phase. And the thing was, we were there to remind them or to tell them that if someone that's older already coming out, it's because they've had a lot of time to think about it. And they're now being able to express it. Whereas these young kids are being allowed to express it younger because we as parents are understanding it more.
When you have new parents that are coming in and they're really scared and they're uncertain and they're nervous, you have parents who are like, oh yeah, I remember being there, but now we're 4 years into this journey and it's completely fine or different. So not only do you have the voice of professionals saying it's going to be okay, you know, or this is how it's sort of you move to make things a little bit better, you have parents being able to give that to parents, which there's nothing actually more powerful. Parents are the most credible people in that room.
I danced and I had to walk up a hill for like 5 days straight. No, for like 7 days straight. So I'm really tired.
Did you miss me?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Okay, I started missing you once I got the letter.
You got the email that I sent you?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
What did you miss most about your mom?
Oh, there's nothing.
Her nagging?
Nothing. Look at this.
I'm
There's nothing about
I miss my dog.
Oh, I am so heartbroken.
Oh.
I see where I stand. I'm behind the dog.
Me and Nikki got up at 6:30 every day.
Oh. Did you do what, Mama?
Our faces in hair.
Oh, so you were keeping up with your looks?
Yeah.
That's good. Did everybody do that, or
Everybody did that. No, everybody didn't want to go looking like.
do you find that that's very important? The
Well,
appearance?
yeah, it is. Well, I mean, I just feel comfortable with it. Like, I don't feel like I don't feel like it's
Showing off or anything?
It's not showing off. I just feel more comfortable with my face looking like pretty.
Yeah. So it just adds to who you are?
Yeah, it's just a part of me. It's not like I have to do it, but it's just a part of who I am. It's just like wearing clothes to me. Everybody had a good time. People were gossipy and like, but that's usual. Like when you're with a huge area.
Crowd.
Yeah, when you're with a huge crowd, everybody gets mixed up, in their own drama and stuff. So, but everything was really fun and it worked out.
It's good.
She, I think, always had this vision of herself as confident and social and talkative, and she's an extrovert. I think she finally felt comfortable expressing herself. She blossomed. She wanted to go see her friends because now she had friends. She started going to school every day. Before it was a problem. She never wanted to go to school before. She started joining school clubs. She wanted to be involved with people again.
Lucy. Great job.
The 8th grade drama award goes to Zoey Luna.
Yes.
I want to speak more about my life. I just want to get back to the community because I have a lot, so I want to help other people and possibly change the world and make the world more understanding of people.
And ladies, all eyes here, please. Excited? Nervous?
How do you feel about participating in the T word?
I'm very happy to participate in it because I know a lot of teens and kids my age will be watching it, and I'm hoping that they'll watch the whole thing and understand, that we live normal lives just like everybody else does. So really excited to be participating in it, and also it's kind of been like a dream to be on a channel that I watch. So
Really?
yeah. The most fun experience I had in the past year was definitely shooting for the T Word and going to New York for the premiere of the T Word.
Come on, cast in the T Word. Now, the T Word, yes, please make some noise for them. This is a group of young people. Actually, Zoey is now 13 years old, so they range from ages from 13 to 24 years old, and they are all trans, and they're all so beautiful and so brave. To be a transgender person in this country is still so deeply stigmatized. So to come forward and say that this is who I am and to do it on national television is amazingly brave.
I got to meet up with all the cast members of the T Word, and it was so much fun for me. I got to go and sleep in a hotel and, eat New York pizza and smell the New York air.
I'm the happy tourist here in New York City.
What's happening for you around hormones?
Well, my boobs my breasts are starting to grow. I've started to notice that I'm getting hips right there and thighs. And yeah, I've been noticing a little bit, and then my voice has changed a little bit as well.
I'm feeling blue, a little sadness or depression, anything like that?
No.
No, you feel pretty good, in good spirits?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I'm a single parent and I don't make a lot of money. I have to worry about having health insurance every month to pay for Zoey's medications. Having enough money to buy her clothes is comfortable for her and how she feels.
We do have to budget, especially with this particular issue that not a lot of insurances cover it. we're willing to make any kind of adjustments to the money that we have so that, you know, she can get what she needs, because that's, to us, that's a life or death situation.
It's not easy trying to navigate through this, not only financially, but also emotionally. And, you know, it's draining sometimes because you worry so much for things. When she first transitioned, I didn't know how vast and huge the community was, because I lived in my own little world with my daughter. They have been incredibly supportive. I have met so many great people that have become great friends. The women in the community are so nice, and they treat me so well. They support me in supporting my daughter. They make my job easier as a parent because I can always look to them and ask them questions. Sometimes I don't even have to ask them. I just see how they interact with each other, how they live their lives, what they're fighting for and advocating for, what activism is for them, and that helps me.
Every week this year, there has been a new trans death. And this is too much for me. This is too much for everyone. This is not right. Are we gonna let people kill our sisters and brothers?
No! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down!
We need to keep our children safe. We need to stand as a community. Let's take care of our children, parents. Let's accept them and love them for who they are. That's all I have to say as a parent of a transgender child. Thank you.
It was definitely a surprise receiving this title as Grand Marshal. And I feel so honored that I'm sharing it along with Reverend Troy Perry, because he's such a great man and I love everything about him.
Believe it or not, 45 years ago, I was preparing for the first GLBT parade here in Los Angeles, had taken the city to court, had won, and it's so good to look back, having hindsight, and to see how different it is today.
When you find out that your marshal was going to be
Zoe, I was thrilled. I really represent the past, and she represents the future. And from going to a 75-year-old man to a 14-year-old transgender female is marvelous for me.
I've met so many wonderful people and amazing people that I feel like it's my responsibility to give back to my community.
Her way of seeing herself has definitely changed. She knows who she is a lot better now.
You could do anything you want to do, whether it's with your gender identity, whether it's with your sexual identity, whether it's you wanting to have hair extensions. You know, you could do whatever you want to do in your life. So just keep living.
She's helped so many people come into my clinic now and say, oh, I know Zoe, I saw her, she's inspirational to me. And for that reason alone, Zoe doing this has been remarkable. And if it's what's right for her.
We're here to honor Layla and hopefully bring awareness to more parents. If maybe her parents would have been able to find out other information, Layla would still be here with us today.
They isolated her, made her go to conversion therapy. And, you know, that's not right.
There's so much more information out now. There's so much support that it's unbelievable they chose that route. I really do believe it's unbelievable. Zoe is only 13 years old, and I am extremely, extremely proud of who she is, and I support her in every single thing that she does.
We think we own our children. I do not believe that way. Parents are the trustees. We're people who hold, nurture, and make our children better. They are not to be made as we are.
I wish that more parents would step up and say, too bad if my neighbor doesn't understand it. Too bad if my brother or my sister don't understand it. I'm just going to stick to my child and make sure that they're safe.
Unfortunately, a necessity was cutting out a lot of people that didn't want to understand it or would continue to misgender her, and it just drove me nuts. You know, like I can't have that around my sister. I can't have people that are going to disrespect her like that. My whole social network is completely different than it was before she transitioned, and it's for the better.
She's growing up and I'm gonna have to start letting go. That's gonna be different. I'm always gonna be the mother, you know, trying to protect her.
My mom is having the worst time with this, letting me go. I have my phone, I can call her and stuff, so I'm not that worried about it, and I can handle myself.
She wants to separate from her mom for a little bit. She's growing up, just like any other kid.
And you said that she doesn't let you hug her?
No, no more hugging, no more touching, no more calling her pet names. That's all gone. I get a little emotional and I say, when I'm not here, when I'm not here, you're gonna miss me. Yeah, so I try to guilt her into a hug and it's not working anymore. But it's okay. It's my third child. I already know where I'm headed. But I love her. She's a good kid.
I think it's a very typical mother-daughter relationship. They argue about all the regular things, like did you wash your clothes, did you clean up after yourself? It's really all the normal stuff.
I think the thing I argue the most about with my mother is my makeup. I feel so much older that I want to look older. So my mom definitely, I think we get into fights about that because I'm always trying to try new makeup out and I'm always trying to, I think, grow, but I think I'm growing a little too fast. Everybody says that, so yeah.
So we were arguing about makeup because she likes to wear a lot of makeup and it's a lot sometimes. And I have to actually tell her, you need to go back and kind of take some of that off. So we were arguing and we were going back and forth and she told me, you don't understand me. I need this makeup to make sure that I feel and look like who I am. She goes, you'll never get me. You don't get it. And I kind of looked at her and I said, I want you to understand something. When I see you, I see Zoey Luna. I see a little girl trying to be a big girl that's only a teenager. I see my child that I need to protect and make sure she's okay. When I hear your voice, your tone of your voice doesn't sound like anybody else's. You're just my little girl. So I might not understand what's in your head, but I do understand that you're my child. That's been the whole struggle, the whole fight, the whole everything with the world, the school, the community, with the people, even with my family. This is my daughter. There's nothing different about her. Zoey isn't special because she's transgender. Zoey is special because she's my daughter. And that's just it.
Make a wish.
The riddle has been solved. She is me, I am her. It never was a dream, it's my truth, it's the truth. I am a girl.